Oh,
Hey.
Thank you for that. Hey. Hi everyone who's watching or listening, depending on what form of platform you're receiving us from. Welcome to Have You Seen Anything Good Lately? I'm one of your hosts, Kendall Vanna, and next to me is
Hitesh.
Hitesh. What?
Bucket.
Okay, cool. So basically what we do on the show is that we just we talk about everything that's movies related, comic book related, pop culture fun, and all that good stuff. And basically we get together and we
TV
what was it?
We also talk about TV
and
shows.
And TV shows. Sorry about that. And basically we just get together once a week and we just talk smack about some of the latest stuff coming out. And yeah, is anything I'm missing out, Hitesh?
Not really. The inception of this was just me and Kendall talking.
Yeah.
And just talking about a whole bunch of different crap.
Yep.
We thought, hey, why don't we broadcast this to the world?
We've discussed this for like years, right?
Yeah. We've talked about a lot of different stuff.
Having a podcast.
I've always suggested this, and I suggested this before podcasts were a thing. I said we should have our own YouTube channel, but only in recent years podcasts got big. So,
but the thing is that we didn't really think that we didn't think anyone would listen to us, or at least like what. So I guess that's kind of like that fear we had at the back of our heads.
yeah. But hey, here we are.
Yep. The lockdown changed that immediately.
Yep.
This is only recently that we've met up again since because how did we meet, Hitesh?
Oh, it was in I forgot the class. This was at university we met, and I remember on the first day we sat at the same table.
Yes, but I remember how I met you, and you can I'll tell my end, and I know which class it was. It was English. It was the first.
Was it linguistics?
It had to be English language or something.
Yeah.
And because it was my first day of uni, and you were I've told you the story before. I thought you were very aggressive. Because me and a bunch of our friends showed up late because we were in the wrong class. And then I remember sitting down at your table and everyone is just like being introduced, orientation and all that. And I remember sitting down at your table and you just seemed, you and a couple of the other girls that were part of our friend group at the time, you specifically, I just looked you were just like kind of you just had like your brows were just kind of like, you're like, these people showing up late, ruining everything. And then later on, you ended up telling me that you thought we were cool. You told us you thought we were cool because we all rocked up late to class.
I thought you guys were the cool kids. I thought this is a clique. You're like Regina from Mean Girls.
No, we were.
I was like, oh my God, these guys don't care about their education. I was very serious.
We were just all in the wrong class for like half an hour.
I remember you guys laughed when you guys got in as well.
Yeah, and that was with one of our friends. I think he was with us, like Tamiana.
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, like we were all just kind of late, and we were just like half an hour late. We had like 15 minutes until the class ended.
Yeah.
But that's our introduction. That's my first impression of you. I just thought you were very kind of like by yourself, very stern. I thought you were one of those like very, very like, I'm here to learn. And that's why you're very aggressive at us, because we're interrupting your learning time. And you're like, I'm here to learn.
You kind of did at that point. I was like,
oh man. You know, I think I've told you this before, but for the sake of the podcast, that was the second time I've been in the wrong class for my very first day of school.
gotta be organized, man.
It happened to me in high school, which was super embarrassing. I was in the wrong class for the very first day of school. And then it happened again for the very first day of university. Wrong class. I was like, what are the chances, man? What a way to make an impression. Oh my gosh.
You made an impression, all right. I remember when you walked in, I was like, yep, this is a cool kid. Like, Kendall's a very fashionable guy. I don't know if you can see him if you're listening or watching. Kendall's very fashionable. He goes to op shops. He's very trendy.
I'm that person.
If you see me, I'm usually rocking like a hoodie and jeans and some sneakers.
I mean, we looked kind of like the kids from Recess, right? Walking in, because there was a gang of us walking into the class.
TJ, Vince,
and I was probably Gus. Gus is how I feel on the inside.
I think I'm a Mikey.
I know that. You think you're a Mikey?
I think I'm a Mikey. I got Mikey vibes.
I see that. I see that. Okay, so shall we jump straight into the main gist of the show?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so have you seen anything good lately?
Yes, I have. I watched Cinderella. Seamless.
Okay, so just to let everyone know, so the show is called "Have You Seen Anything Good Lately?" However, Cinderella was my idea, and I forced Tatish to watch it because I thought it would be up our alley, so to speak. And then basically it's the late. Why did I bring that up? Because why did I bring that up? Because let's say, help me out here. Where was I going with that? So when I said, have you seen anything good lately? I don't want anyone to get the idea that we just like randomly picking movies that we just saw recently, that we actually pre-plan these things to watch so we can discuss it and share with everyone who's picking up the podcast. So we're talking about the 2021 Cinderella, directed by Kay Cannon. And
who's done a lot of musicals and sitcoms. She did the Pitch Perfect series. I think the second one and possibly the third, or maybe the first and second. I know Elizabeth Banks did one.
Oh yeah, Elizabeth Banks did the first one. I know that one for sure. How about we go? I want to hear your opinion first, since I was the one who kind of threw it at you.
I didn't think too much of this movie going in. I didn't think too much. I was like, okay, this is your Cinderella story with a pop musical twist. And the word that I'll be using is an algorithm movie. So Cinderella to me is an algorithm movie. Yeah. It has, in terms of algorithm, it's got,
it's formulaic.
It's formulaic. It's got popular artists and actors. So we've got Camilla Cabello, who plays Cinderella, Billy Porter, who plays the fairy godmother, who's having a hot streak right now with Pose and
Godmother.
Yes,
that was his their name, Fabulous Godmother. I clarify that they changed the name, which is very interesting.
Yeah. We had a rapping the town crier guy who used to rap.
Who was that guy?
He's a famous UK. He's a UK grime rapper.
Do you know him?
I do not know him. I like bits and pieces of grime, but like I'm not heavy into it. But he is a grime artist.
You are a lot more well versed in the rap, in the music kind of like area expertise more than It's more specifically with rap as well.
Yeah.
I only know it historically and stuff, but yeah, I'm not really familiar with that guy.
No, I
Continue.
wasn't either. But like, I was like, okay, this guy's got flow, mad flow, as the kids would say. Mad flow AF. Hashtag I'm relevant. Hashtag I'm not almost 30.
Who was so any? Tell me your thoughts. Keep going.
Pierce Brosnan, James Bond, Minnie Driver, who I thought was
Driver.
excellent. I love seeing her in things.
It's so good to see her
I've
again.
just got a soft spot for her. I don't know what it is, and I haven't seen a lot of things with her in it.
It's because I think it's because we were exposed to her very early on, because she was in a lot of 90s,
Yeah.
early 2000s, and then when she disappeared, she kind of like left that gap for her.
Yeah.
And then now when we see her show up and stuff like this, we're just like, Minnie, like I didn't even know Minnie Driver was in this.
No, I when I saw the post, I was like, oh, cool, Minnie Driver's in this. It has a lot of British comedians and actors.
Well,
so I don't
that
know
was
if this was like, I don't know if it was a weird like COVID restriction thing or if it was just.
It had to be. This felt like a cash grab kind of thing.
It did, and that's why I call it an algorithm movie because of you got Camilla Cabello, who is a reasonably big pop star. I feel like they probably wanted like Ariana Grande, who's probably at the peak.
Yeah, but she's like A grade at this point.
Yeah, and like Camilla's probably just under.
I would say her current partners like above her. I think she's seeing.
I'd love to know. I is she dating? Is it Shawn Mendes?
Shawn Mendes, right? Yeah.
I always get mixed up with all these different pop stars.
Oh yeah, same. I always get Shawn Mendes mixed up with who's that
Charlie
guy?
I get Charlie Puth and Shawn Mendes mixed up.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
That's exactly.
Anyway, back to Cinderella.
Cinderella, yay!
You know what? There was a lot of musical numbers in it, right? There were maybe 15 to 18 songs crammed into a 1.5 hour movie, give or take. They use music as a plot device or as to show emotion with a character instead of kind of talking about it. They use, I don't know, am I wrong or something to convey how they feel. Or like Rhythm Nation to like, we're a community.
Yeah.
I thought the music was an interesting choice.
I thought that the if I'm being honest, when I saw them, just like I thought this was going to be like do you remember like was the early 2000s or the 90s version with Brandy and Whitney Houston?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a lot like that in the case that I thought all the music was going to be original. And then when I saw them singing like Rhythm Nation and what was it, Queen's Somebody to Love, I was like, not to be rude, but I was like, this is boring. I was like, anyone could do that. Like I felt like whoever wrote this or like Kay Cannon was like, oh, I when I listen to my playlist, I can see Cinderella. I'm going to make Cinderella and just add the music that I was listening to on my playlist.
I want to know. Yeah, I want to know who devised what songs were going to be played in the movie. Was it? I reckon, and I have a theory, because this is an Amazon movie. This is to help promote Amazon Music as much as it is to promote Amazon, the streaming service.
Why? What does Amazon Music have?
I don't know it. That's the thing. So, this is why I think
they're cross promoting.
Yeah, this is their synergy. This is what I think, and I could be wrong. And if anyone out there knows the answer, please comment or message me, direct message me, whatever you need to do. Let me know. But That's my take.
That's your take?
Because there were a lot of songs in the movie, and it probably had maybe the same amount of songs as Into the Heights, which is another musical movie that came out this year, also on a streaming platform, or if you're lucky to see it in the theaters.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
I think in New Zealand we were able to. I know my folks saw it at cinemas.
We could have, but it was like really early as well. But I missed it. I was going to see it at the theater, but
yeah. But I think that the music was just too much, and it took away from the movie. So I was more looking forward to, what song are they gonna sing next, as opposed to how the story will develop.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think what you mean is there were more musical numbers and songs than there were actual story plot going on.
Yeah.
And to the point where like it was super unbalanced.
Yeah.
Because there's more music going on. And I felt like honestly, do you have anything else to say before I just start like tearing into it? I felt that they were like, I don't know why, but for some reason I felt like they had to, because these songs are just like they have the storyline and they have the story beats of each emotional scene of the film, and it felt like they had to shoehorn the song to match what was going on.
Yeah.
Even the song isn't very specific to the very like for example the Queen part where Somebody Find Me Somebody to Love by Queen, and then they were like is this his goal? Is he actually looking for true love, or is he like, because the song just doesn't match, it's not just about like finding a true love, and
so this is a prince who's been told by his dad that he has to have a ball to find a wife. So it's a similar, it's the same, pretty much the same story as what we all know.
He's like he has to look for a queen, but his mom is telling him to look for your love or something.
Yeah.
And he has to decide what he wants, and he wants love. But at the beginning, I never got that at all. It just seemed like
he seemed like a playboy. He just seemed like he wanted to party.
Oh, not even a playboy. Yeah,
but he just said like he want to hang out with boys.
Yeah, I'm young. I'm not ready to get married just for the sake of the royal family.
Yeah.
What else did I think?
I thought. Say something?
Yep.
How did she fall in love with this guy straight away? She was positioned as this Cinderella. That is, she's positioned as a strong female character who, I don't need no man. Sentiment in the first kind of 20 minutes, she runs into the prince, and then she kind of realizes actually he's kind of good looking, and then that's how they kind of intertwine this love story, which I feel didn't really match.
I hear where you're coming from. I think they're and this is what I'm interpreting from what they presented. So I've noticed that in recent I've seen in recent adaptations of Cinderella that they've like, so the last Disney one directed by Kenneth Branagh.
I totally missed that one.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything actually. I've noticed that for the sake of like updating it, they've added a kind of a dating quality. So what happens if they've met more than once over a progressive time of period, therefore it's kind of considered like they're knowing each other more over time. Whereas in the original tale, they just met that one night and they fall in love, and that's kind of problematic for studios.
Yeah.
So early on in the film, they meet at the royal family is greeting everyone in town, and then he sees her, and then he goes like, I like this girl, I'm gonna go pursue her, and then they meet each other first down at the marketplace, and then they meet again later on that night, and then they meet again later on, and she does they do fall romantically in love with each other. However, just to kind of like to progress, this movie like this movie doesn't shy away from being very progressive, especially for like women and stuff like that. Which we're both fine with that. But when it comes to the integrity of the story, it becomes it begins to block. It begins to block the narrative. And so what I'm getting at is it's at the end of the film. Oh, did we mention that we're going to be talking spoilers?
Oh yeah, this is a major spoiler. We should have seen this at the start.
Yeah. Everything we just said. Just imagine we just.
If you haven't seen the movie, now's a good time to pause this podcast. Watch a movie if you want, or if you don't want to watch a movie, that's cool. Just listen to what we're going to say.
First half, you really don't need to see this movie. Even at the end of the film, the female character is quite progressive in the point that they are in a relationship, but they are not married to each other immediately. And she goes away, right? She goes away to a school to learn her craft. To learn her craft as a seamstress.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's pretty interesting. It's pretty like I've never seen anything like that.
I like that twist of the story.
I felt like it could have been better though. It could have been executed better.
Yeah, and I wonder if COVID I wonder how much effect COVID had on this movie.
I
wonder if Amazon, the studio funding it, was just like we just need content. Because at the end of the day, this is a content game. And Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, whatever they are, they want content.
Just jumping on top of that, the COVID-19 thing, because one of the points that I'm about to make is very similar to the whole COVID thing. Is the point that because I worked on certain sets and certain TV shows and films that are recently coming out and stuff. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not trying to boast.
Oh, we got Mr. Big Shot over here. We've got Brad Pitt. Oh, I didn't know this is Timothy Chalamet.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. But, I'm just better than everyone. I'm just so talented. I'm gifted. But the point I'm trying to make is that I've been on a lot of sets where the logistics of having, I think there was over like 100 extras on that set for the town, and then when they met again for the royal family's waving, it just seemed like when everyone is on lockdown and there's a lot of COVID restrictions and there's a massive crowd of people in this film, I was really impressed that they managed to get this amount of extras, and two, I was like, if this is clear, because this film was definitely made like last year, how did they strategically, logistically get all these crowds of people together at a time during the pandemic? And I thought that was just
one just CGI people. They did in 300.
Maybe more expensive. Is it more expensive to CGI people?
Probably.
But yeah, and that was.
If we can have a hologram 2-part, surely we can have a hologram town.
If Jeff Bezos could use that Amazon money to go to outer space, he can afford to have some extras, if you know what I mean. Just get some of those people in there.
Budget doesn't. We need to go to the moon. We need to start an Amazon factory on Mars.
Yeah. Well, enough about Lex Luthor. Let's get back to Cinderella. There was so something that so this is something I've noticed about musical films, and it's something that's becoming quite a not a problem, but kind of like an issue or a cliche almost. I don't know what to call that. It's something it's become quite apparent to me. So in recent day. So when I was watching The Heights earlier, like last month or something, I was watching The Heights, In the Heights, sorry, and I was watching this film. Something that I've noticed that's become quite apparent is so I love the increase of diversity because it's reflecting reality.
So, yeah.
Because the story is supposed to reach a larger crowd.
Also, the brown rat, the rat was brown. Yay.
Yeah, everything was diverse.
Of Indian, South Asian descent.
Cinderella makes sense because it's set in its own kind of world. In the Heights makes sense because they're all Hispanic. It's in the Hispanic borough of New York. The one thing that's getting on my nerves is the lack of, all the extras are kind of like, they're all professional dancers and they all do these large scale performances that are quite like very entertaining to the eye. And they're all different ages, races, genders. We've got some young children and then we got some, oh wait, that's right. There's no old people in these things. There's no, like, it just seemed like when I see these towns, I'm like, it's all young people. I'm like where are the?
But the shopkeeper was kind of old.
Oh yeah, but we didn't get to see him.
You wanted to see him like shuffle or something, or like
yeah,
you wanted to see him like pop, lock, and drop it.
Yeah, just see him like
you want to see him like walk it out,
twerking on the ground. But no, I was like, those worlds that they come from, if you're gonna like, they've managed to hit every single like diversity quota except for age, and they have young children, but they don't have any oh sorry, I gotta put back. Open the door. Take it away.
So they don't have young children. So they have young children dancing, old people not around. It's pretty much what Kendall's saying. And now that you bring it up, I totally agree with you. I haven't noticed that.
Because I noticed it in the Heights when there's a what's the word I'm looking for? There's a strong kind of like community base with their elders, and one of the main characters is a senior.
I mean, she had a big moment though.
Yeah, but the issue is that like when you look down at this, because it's about the setting is also a character, and you get to see the people, the city, like the town, the borough of New York in the Heights becomes alive with all these different people, different races, different ages, and then when you see you see all the this little kids like breakdancing in the streets, and and they're all doing these like if it's supposed to represent this area, and the elders are the staple, if so to speak, especially in the Heights, you should have some elderly people. Like I've been like today, I've been seeing on YouTube and on TikTok and stuff like that, these like elderly people, not elderly people, what do I call them? Seniors. And they've been like, they've been like dancing, and they've been keeping up with the latest dance moves and stuff like that. And it's like super impressive. What I'm saying is some of those seniors used to be like in musicals. If we can teach them how to keep up with the latest dance moves and like hip hop dancing and stuff like they did in the crowd, and just put them in, like splice them into the crowd, it would make the biggest difference. Because when I see just a bunch of like young people, that's not
society.
Like, that's not a full society. That's not a full range of what this the environment is as a character can provide to me. And I noticed that again in the Heights, because there's like a little kid, He was like dancing with all the pots and like hitting everything. And then I was like, where are all the like elderly people? Why can't they dance on like? And I've seen like all these all these big like
You know where they are?
where?
So this is a shared universe that's happening in all these musicals, right? So they're in the town of Footloose. Theory sold. I figured it out. Hollywood,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you. Hollywood tried to hide this from us.
I understand why they wouldn't get old people to dance because it's just
Maybe it's an
you hit a certain
insurance thing.
you hit a certain age where you can't perform those new dance moves because they're just everyone is on key, on point. They're very kinetic, which is physically difficult for them. But
Have you seen J-Lo? J-Lo is like 51, 52. She can dance.
I've seen on like
Madonna like did a tour. She's 60.
Yeah, get those like really fit looking just over middle-aged people, and then put them like maybe put some makeup, some like a wig or toupee or something on them, just to make them like fill the world with like. It just seems that that's a huge piece that was missing for me. It happened again in this film. I'm looking like whatever the next musical comes out, I will be keeping an eye on that because it's just becoming quite, everyone is there, like everyone is there, everyone is represented. But when you like see the huge like dance numbers that are really amazingly choreographed, there's like no old people in it. I didn't like it. Just takes me out of the film.
Yeah, I totally get it. What took me out of the film was seeing James Corden though. I don't need to see him in everything.
James Corden,
and I know he's a producer of this movie.
I don't know why he's in it.
I think because he can sing, and maybe he was available. Is my kind of only.
James Corden has become. He used to be the everyman, the Gavin and Stacey kind of thing, and then he kind of like his career bumped up a bit on his like in his film career and stuff. But ever since he's moved to LA, he's been given not a little, but too many. He's become too loud to the point where he's ruining the project.
Yeah.
Like
it was kind of off-putting seeing him in it.
Because it's also weird that he's also, when you put him together with he's with those other two comedians who I also really like. What are their names again? Have you seen?
I think one of them's called Hitesh.
What?
I think he's got the same name as me.
Does he?
I think so.
I really don't want to look it up, but I'm a huge fan of the other guy, the tall dude, the lanky guy. He has like a special on Netflix. It's weird because James Corden is more successful than those other two comedians in terms of credits. But I would say that those two are far more superior comedians, but just as comedians, whereas James Corden does musicals.
He's more of an entertainer. Like he's a host, really, is what he is, and he's been in movies. Like before, he was in that Paul Potts movie before he got the show.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be like his big role.
Yeah, he just seems kind of like he's too loud and kind of ruins the flow of certain things.
Also, he was just on James Corden. He was also on a movie. He made a movie because he was in Gavin and Stacey, the other guy in Gavin and Stacey. They made a movie together called Lesbian Vampire.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Hunters.
Did I make you watch that?
No.
Okay.
I remember this came out in high school, and I watched this in high school.
Yeah,
and it was a very like pubescent 17-year-old boy movie.
It's very like I know what you're talking about. They were on a movie
together. And no one talks about that movie at all. I don't know if it's on any streaming service or.
Oh, I'm sure it's on something. I remember watching it. Like it had to be just like after high school or during high school, but it came on like late at night on like C4 or something.
I remember like I remember it was kind of a thing in school, like, oh, I got the movie. I'll put it on a flash drive for you.
Really?
Yeah.
I my
Just
opinion
because
of
of
it.
the dirty nature of the movie.
Oh, really? I see that. I see why young pubescent boys would like it.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I don't remember too much of that movie.
I thought that movie was just like very I get that part of it because there's a bunch of like vampire strippers or something. Are they strippers or lesbians?
Lesbians.
Or
I don't know
whatever
if
it
they're
is.
like. I
Yeah.
can't remember situations.
But I remember I was like, I didn't take it seriously. I thought I knew what it was. It's a
Yeah.
very goofy, tongue-in-cheek reference back to the kind of like B movie schmuck.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, that's what that was. I thought Billy Porter was really great in this.
It was amazing.
It only sucks that he's only in it for like 10 minutes. No, less than 10 minutes.
About that. He had narrated the movie as well.
You know what? He must have got paid good. He must have got paid.
Well, like I said earlier, he was like he's been having a moment with Pose, and you know, he won an Emmy.
Pose is so good. Pose is
I haven't seen it.
Good. I've seen. I think I'm up to date with it.
It's finished.
They had a season hiatus. Is it finished?
Yeah.
I might jump back to season 2.
It's only season. I think they only did 3 seasons of it.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, Billy Porter's incredibly talented. Sometimes I feel like Billy Porter can sometimes get in his own way sometimes. Because during season 2, I noticed that his character got a lot of screen time. The issue I had with that is that the show wasn't about him,
right?
Because the show's called Pose. Huge cast. If I felt like he's also a producer on the show, and I'm like, oh, he's asking, like, he's the one who's pushing for his character's screen time. I just kind of thought that kind of like took it out. Like, I wanted to see more of the other casts, but I got so much more Billy Porter. Like I said before, I really dug seeing Minnie Driver again.
Fantastic. Like, great casting.
She's been good. She's been gone for a while.
She must have been free. I don't know what else she's doing. She must have been free. I don't know what she's doing.
Well, she's made enough. She's had a successful career. She doesn't that much money. I could see. I like how they made her sing a little bit.
Yeah.
Early on, but they would never let her sing a song, and that was bothering me. Everyone can sing, except for maybe
James Bond.
Pierce Brosnan. And
I'm going to refer to him as James Bond.
Go ahead, why not? But I was like, they weren't. I was like, let her sing. She's one of the very few people who can sing. Do you know what the name of the main actor is who plays Prince Charming?
No.
He has one of those bland faces.
Yes.
Where you could have replaced him with anyone.
I mean, Algorithm movie,
yeah. But and this is not like to like, oh yeah, actually it wasn't an insult. I was trying to be polite about it. But the guy had like, I like that he can sing.
He didn't have a lot of charisma. He just didn't have a lot of charisma.
He didn't have a lot of charisma. And chemistry. There was no chemistry between Camilla and him.
Could they have not gotten Shawn Mendes?
Yeah, that would have been great. Yeah, actually, yeah, that would have been cool. But I think he was like maybe on tour at the time.
And COVID?
Yeah, that guy was so bland. I like. This might sound strange, but I thought that
he's kind of in line with the other kind of bland Hollywood actors. I'm looking at you, Clint Eastwood's son. I forgot your name. That's.
Idiot. leave him alone. You're talking about Scott.
See,
Scott Eastwood.
it was very bland and Fast and the Furious.
There's Scott Eastwood, and there's I actually kind of like is it what's his name? Wyatt.
Okay, now are we just digging at actors who have famous kids now?
But they produce these kids who just like, you could have replaced them with anyone, and they're just like, they're a type. They're
I think
the main guy.
He's a good Captain America.
I thought the main guy in Cinderella could have been replaced with anyone, which is sad. And the issue is, I actually thought that, so he has like it's like a strange, like a really miniature subplot where I'm assuming that, so he has a gay best friend. And I thought that actor had way more better features. Like he had that nose, the ears, the hair, the body type to play that character. But I thought he was more memorable than the prince. Yeah. I was like, there's more character going on this guy.
I actually liked his entourage. I thought his entourage was more memorable.
I didn't like the entourage. I didn't understand them.
There was a brown guy.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Representation is important.
There was a brown guy, and there was like a Scottish guy, and the brown guy never gets, but the Scottish guy gets some lines.
But he had cool hair though. Very cool hair.
Towards the end of the film, you get a sense that like does he have feelings for the prince? Was that like a cutout? It felt like there was a cutout.
I think there must have been something there. Like there must have been a scene that they cut out, and I don't know if they're going to release this on Blu-ray or DVD or whatever. Do people buy DVDs? I don't know, but I don't know if this is going to be like a deleted scene. I don't know if Amazon's going to do that, because I know Netflix does release these kind of movies.
It seemed like there was a plot line missing between the Prince Charming character and his squire, I believe, and he because there's a scene at the end of the film where he's kind of Prince Charming is lamenting the loss of Cinderella because he's looking everywhere to find her, and then he kind of is like the squire is kind of like, he's not really into it all the way. He's not really 100% into finding Cinderella, maybe because he has feelings for him. And then he hears him kind of like, I don't know, bitching over there. And he's like, oh, you know what? Even though I wanted you, I'm going to give you away to the person you really like. And then kind of makes a sacrifice. And then he kind of like, where was the last time you saw her? And that blew my mind, because I was like, why didn't you start at the town first? I saw it at the town square. Like, it was like because they're going everywhere. This is the part of the film, the story of Cinderella, where they go village to village, house to house, putting the glass slipper and testing on other young women's feet to see if it's Cinderella. And she, and then he says like, why didn't you just start at the one place where you guys first met? And they didn't do that. They just went house to house looking for Cinderella instead of just going to like I don't know, where did you last see her? That just seems like logic would dictate that you just go to the place you first ever saw Cinderella. And I was like, oh, by the way, they call her Ella in this film.
Yeah, but that's fine with.
Yeah, it's like.
I just think of Ella Enchanted, and actually Ella Enchanted is a better movie than the Cinderella movie.
Yeah, I don't really like Ella.
I thought it was an underrated movie. It doesn't get discussed much.
True.
Also, another brown face in that movie.
Who was that?
The girl, the woman from Being Like Beckham.
Oh yes,
she was Ella's best friend.
What else? There's something else I want to mention about Cinderella. CGI mice. They had nothing to do with the the plot of the film, other than famous actors played them.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who I thought was really cool in this? That I could have just watched the whole film about them was
The sister.
no.
I like the
Actually,
sister.
I like the sisters actually. They were a lot more sympathetic.
She had a better subplot than the prince.
Who did?
The sister.
Which one?
Oh, I'm talking about the prince's sister.
Oh, the princess. I was talking about I thought that was like I thought like I mentioned before, this is very forward thinking film. This is a very progressive film, and I was just like, I don't like how they I suppose it reflects reality. So Prince, for those who don't know, Prince Charming's has a younger sister, and if he doesn't find a queen, then his sister will rise to the throne as the queen of whatever this magical world is, and basically the archetype they got for the little sister is this kind of Greta Gerwig kind of is that her name?
Yeah.
Greta Gerwig kind of progressive young girl archetype.
Kind of dictator as well, from what it sounds like her ideas of.
But with a hint of like they made her seem like kind of like almost know-it-all Lisa Simpson vibe, where everyone kind of just like
almost disregards her character whenever she has an opinion.
Like yeah, exactly. Like everyone is just.
I think
like,
there was a line where she was denied a seat at the table, and she said that like, "You're literally denying me the seat at the table."
Yeah, I thought I actually didn't mind that. This I've seen only because I've seen way more worse films pull that off just horribly, where like they're rubbing it in your face. But this one, it was still annoying. But I wish like, can we know anything about her other than her like her policies to fix, I don't know, agriculture in their kingdom? You know what I mean? It's like she was trying to remove.
I think we'll find out in Cinderella to electric Cinderella.
But she just like very like I liked her character, but they would like I don't like the way they treated her, kind of like like because I've met a couple of her kind before, and they're not that bad a person. And then when you just kind of like create that archetype, and everyone in the film except for the brother, even the queen, I don't think the queen ever has an interaction with her throughout the entire film. Her own daughter. But they really like they're very disrespectful. You know what I mean? It just comes off as like kind of mean-spirited and unwarranted. And she's got some like pretty progressive policy ideas for the kingdom that actually, by our standards, makes a lot of sense. But because he's like the king is very, you know, he's like in the beginning of the film they mentioned that the town or the royal family is bogged down in tradition, and that's why they haven't changed anything.
A lot like the monarch we have right now, I suppose.
Yeah. But like I never like. I thought they were just kind of mean spirited. They were like a little girl for doing nothing other than having pretty good ideas.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Also, we haven't talked about the stepmother.
Oh yes, that's where I was getting at. What's her name? Adiz Mandel or something?
I don't know. I don't want to butcher it. I don't want to get roasted like John Travolta, so I'm not going to say her name. But
anyway, I thought she was one of the best parts of the film. She sang those songs so effortlessly. Like she wasn't she's
a Broadway.
She comes from the Broadway industry, and she doesn't even have to like stretch her vocal muscle. She just opens her mouth just a little bit, and it's powerful. And the dancing with her was so good. I thought she was the best. I hate that they tried to make her sympathetic, because I was just like, she was so mean at the beginning. And then they tried to like, there's
soften her up a little bit.
Mean to you.
Yeah.
But here's the thing though, the abuse that we saw at the beginning of the film.
You need to carry that on.
like she doesn't deserve sympathy. She doesn't deserve like my empathy. Like, because the abuse that she did at the beginning of the film did not match the level of the apology she gave at the end of the film. I was just like, when she threw the ink pot at Cinderella's dress, I was like even the stepsisters were like, that was too far. You crossed the line.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like there's a line where she says something about like, why would I ever like let you like make dresses or something? You would shame this entire house. And I was like, you like, it's
But
something to not.
that was great. Like I thought, like she played, excuse my language, the bitch, right? Like she's supposed to be their character, and in other iterations of the story, she is kind of me.
But my issue with that is that they tried to like halfway through the film, they tried to wind it back, try to wind back the meanness by saying, when I was young, I fell in love, and love is not the same as being financially secure.
And I think you could have used the sisters as empathy, and the mother as the villain.
Yes. So they're all the sisters are in it together. That would have been way better. Because I actually liked the stepsisters. I thought the American one was very funny. I thought the English
was. I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, those two. Yeah, I think I might have seen the English one. She might be like a comedian or something. Or I might have seen her on another TV show. But I thought her like musical chops were like really good together. So the actress who plays the wicked stepmother, one of the best parts of that film. But yeah, I felt like they made her horribly abusive, and then they tried to wheel it back at the end, in the middle of the film. And by the time I got to the conclusion, I was like, your apology does not like take back all that like abuse. Like she was so abusive. Like I was like, no, you're still a bad person.
The dress was pretty bad.
You like I was just like, no, there's no going back from that. For me personally, I was like, no, you're just like horribly abusive. You basically assaulted your stepdaughter and told her to like, it's better to like I don't want you. Yeah, I want you to be financially secure. In order for you to do that, you don't follow your dreams. Don't fall in love. Just find a man a wealthy man, and marry them. That's it. But yeah, I suppose yes, but she played it well. I think that the whole story plot where they tried to make her more empathetic was rubbish. Just make her evil.
Yeah.
You wasted my time.
Isn't she the evil stepmother for a reason?
Yeah, exactly.
She's an archetype for a reason.
I think what they tried to, because they did the same thing in Kenneth Branagh's Cinderella as well. They tried to make the evil
step. But that's just to show like a human connection.
Yeah, exactly. Because to flush them out. But you can still have like a 100% evil person and create a humanity of why they are like this. But yeah, it was poorly executed, I think, on their part. I just also want to mention that there's a scene where they're singing and they're hanging out laundry, and there's a guy who's like their neighbor, and he's like chiseled and really good looking, and he starts. So they're having a musical number, the evil stepmother and the evil stepsisters, and this guy, the neighbor who's kind of shirtless. Is he shirtless? It's like dancing. He's dancing. I thought that was so weird. I thought that was so funny.
I thought that was. I liked it. I thought it was good timing.
I also thought, and this is just me again, and I think you might have a differing opinion, but I thought that who's that guy, the rapping guy, the town crier. I gotta be honest with you. I thought that was really cringy. I thought it was really cringy. Like,
you know what? Yeah, but you know what they're writing off, right? Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's ruined musicals.
Oh, I see where you're getting that from.
He's ruining musicals.
I see that.
I don't know if
see
he's
where,
ruining musicals. I wouldn't say ruining musicals, but he's definitely changed.
Yeah, exactly.
It changed it a lot, and I think
seems to be coming from him.
Yeah, because
He's
like
kind of
now
influenced.
yeah, like like Lin-Manuel Miranda's flows in these musicals are very like he asks questions. He's very inquisitive when he raps, but you gotta ask the question. And then there's a big musical number. There's drums and yeah,
at the room.
Like the beats dropped. He's doing his little thing. He asks a question, then he answers the question, then he starts his singing and dancing and whatnot.
Yeah, but I like honestly like, and kudos to that guy. I don't know who he is, the rapper, but I just thought that was some of the most hammy, cringy rapping. Like, hey everybody, gather around. I'm about to tell you what's going down. What's happening here in this town?
Here,
it's about.
And here are the breaks. Now break it up, break it up, break it up.
I just thought that was so like I was like.
You know what? I would have loved it if they got like an old like an MC like a Grandmaster Flash, or if they got someone like that.
But you know, more money that they up and coming.
Or like a KRS. He's not up and coming though,
isn't he? No.
Like I would have liked to see like a KRS-One or a Grandmaster Flash, just doing their thing, and it would also shine light on who these guys are, who need a lot more respect, especially to this younger generation.
So I've seen a lot of like I watch a lot of like British period films and dramas and stuff like that.
That's definitely your wheelhouse.
Yeah, and you watch enough of them, and they will reuse the same sets.
You mean it's Outlander?
You think, oh, no, not really Outlander, but I think you know where I'm going with this. So the town square, I think it's the same set that they use for what's that? The town square, I think they might have used it for Netflix's The Irregulars. So The Irregulars is a Sherlock Holmes spinoff about his he has a bunch of like street urchin kids who run around town relaying data and information for him. Basically, pre-internet, he's paying these homeless kids to get information from him on the streets. And in the shows, the Irregulars is about them, and I'm pretty sure that's the same set. Like I think it might, because I'm just looking around at the background, and I'm just like, it just looks like, because you can just like clean up, make the buildings look bigger, put like a huge green screen there. And to me, it felt like that. I felt like they shot in that same area. Is there anything else about Cinderella? 2021 Cinderella, directed by Kay Cannon.
Yeah, don't get it mixed up with 1999's Brandy Cinderella.
Yeah, we're starring
Whoopi Goldberg.
Was it Whoopi Goldberg? I thought it was Whitney Houston.
Maybe it was. Wasn't Whoopi Goldberg in a Cinderella movie?
Oh, she was the queen, right?
Yes.
Yes, Whoopi Goldberg was the queen. Whitney Houston was the fairy godmother.
Wait, didn't they do one with Ashanti, like a Muppets one?
Did they?
I'm pretty sure, because if you guys don't know, I'm a Muppets guy. I like the Muppets. My first movie, fun fact about me, my first movie at the movies was Muppets Treasure Island.
No. Oh yeah, I used to have that on VHS.
So I've got a special love for the Muppets. I'm pretty sure they did like a Muppets Cinderella, or they do something else. But it was definitely like some sort of fairy tale. And I think Whoopi might have been in that as well.
It's called Hey Cinderella.
What's it called?
A Cinderella.
Who else was it in?
Um, no one we know.
Was it Ashanti?
No.
I thought it was Ashanti.
Wow, look at all these Cinderella adaptations, man.
Well, Cinderella is a story that's quite easy to adapt, and
It's just one of
And
those
it-
classic staples,
yeah,
right?
it's a common enough tale to tell. I mean, we've got different reiterations of Red Riding Hood. I thought Hoodwink was fantastic. Hoodwink 1, they did do a sequel with
Yeah,
Bill
it
Hader
was.
and Amy Poehler.
It was the yeah, you're right. Whoopi Goldberg was in the Brandy one. She was the queen.
That's cool. Who was the prince?
It was Paolo Montalban. He's like I remember him. He's like an Asian looking guy,
Okay.
but he might. Oh no, he's Filipino. There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
can't recall that movie a lot. I remember of it, and I remember seeing it at video shops.
it's a pretty. I mean, my sister we really liked it watching it, like it came on TV and then we got it on VHS. We
Yeah.
love there's one song called Impossible. Impossible. Me and my sister would just like watch that.
Did it come out in the movies,
remember,
or was that straight to VHS or DVD or whatever?
no, I think it was direct to TV. It was a direct to TV film, I think.
But with Whitney Houston in it and Whoopi Goldberg, big stars, surely they could have done some sort of theatrical release.
Yeah, let me double check that.
And then Brandy was kind of blossoming. She was kind of becoming Camilla Cabello at that stage, I suppose. Because she would have had The Boy Is Mine out at that time.
Oh, yeah, it's his TV movie.
Interesting.
But yeah, such a good film.
Yeah, the 1999 one with Brandy.
Yeah, I recommend watching that one or the original Disney one. I thought that one still holds up, I think.
It's not problematic in the Disney era, in the Walt Disney era.
I think you just gotta look at it like as a dated piece of material, you know. You like it is kind of problematic by our standards, but if you go back and you just watch it, the music's good, the animation is fantastic, the voice acting is really great. When you look at People's Stepmother, she looks fucking scary as oh sorry. I just swearing there.
It's like talking to a sailor.
Yeah, sorry everybody. I tend to get like that when I get really passionate.
Yes, when he's emotional, he swears.
But she just the design of the characters is just so vile to just look
also
at.
Like an art. Now they created the archetype of that kind of the evil stepmother.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd highly recommend the animated one or the 1990s. When did that one come out? 1999.
But I feel like we do get a lot of Cinderella. Like every couple of years, we get a Cinderella movie, or like or we get some sort of other version of Cinderella.
You know what? I actually like the Hilary Duff one. The Hilary Duff
a Cinderella story.
Yeah, Cinderella story. It's pretty decent. Like this recent one is not.
It's a product of its time. It's a product of its time. Chad Michael Murray, a heartthrob at the time. And then didn't they do a couple of sequels? Because I think Selena Gomez was in one.
I think you might be right. With that. I'm not really sure, but you might be on something.
I think it was called a Cinderella 2. TOO.
Any final thoughts? What did you think about it overall? Are we doing a rating system or no?
Nah.
Nah, we don't. We're not the
We're not
snobbish.
out of the system, man.
We're not one of the snobbish film
I-
review.
Nah. Well, if you want something fun to watch, don't watch Cinderella. That's like my Simon Cowell. That's my like.
I actually thought you were going to say watch it, and I was going to be like, "What are you doing?" Like I was like literally watching you go like, "What are you doing?" No.
But in all honesty, look, this movie wasn't designed for us, from what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I like covers of different songs. I seek it out. I didn't get anything out of this movie. It wasn't for me.
Okay.
But Minnie
Anything else?
Driver.
Oh yeah, Minnie Driver. Minnie Driver was so
Bring it
good.
back. Put her in the MCU. Put her in a Star Wars movie.
Yes, put her in the MCU. That was so good.
Put her in Eternals 2. Put her in Guardians 3. Just put her in something.
Man, she's so good. I still one of her two of her my favorite performances of her were in Tarzan, where she lends her voice acting, and she really does bring Jane to life.
Yeah.
And I think Good Will Hunting. I thought she just gives like a really real performance, like she's a real person in
Also,
that movie.
Tarzan's an underrated Disney film.
Oh yeah.
But that's a topic for another day, which is a good idea.
Overall, I thought this new Cinderella, I was doing some research beforehand watching the film. I was looking at their Instagram page, and they were like, all the advertising was just like, it's like the musical cinematic event of the year or something.
Yeah, but those are buzzwords. Those are buzzwords to promote a movie.
You'll be blown away by the choreography. This film was electric. And I was just like,
I'm pretty sure they described In the Heights the same way as well.
I would say In the Heights was a ton more better.
Superior movie, yeah.
Yeah, leaps and bounds.
And I got something out of it. I actually felt good watching the movie. Like, for me, a good indicator of a movie is how I feel at the end of it. And there's only like a handful of movies in recent years that have really made me feel this way. And I've discussed this with you. Guardians of the Galaxy is one of them, where I felt really good coming out of it. Like I kind of felt inspired, and not a lot of movies do that these days. When I was a kid, I had that feeling a lot. Yeah. I don't know if that's me growing up. I don't know if it's a quality. I don't know what it is. I just can't describe it. But it does happen from time to time. And In the Heights gave me that as well.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that with Cinderella. And I wasn't expecting that from Cinderella either.
I thought that this new Cinderella film was, and it just sucks because like everyone is so talented on that film. Even the director's done some pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, she directed some New Girl episodes, and we're both fans of New Girl.
I thought overall, I thought the film was honestly very forgettable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna forget about it. You're gonna forget about it. Everyone's gonna forget about it. The only people who are gonna watch this are like people who want entertainment for their children, and they can watch it with their children.
Yeah.
And like preferably like young girls or young boys who like this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Fans of maybe Camilla Cabello.
Yeah. But I just thought like
I can see this movie coming up in a conversation 5 to 10 years from now, but not necessarily with us because we'll be older as well, but it'll be with the next generation.
Yeah.
And they'll be blogging about this. This is an underrated movie because this is a movie that would have affected them in some sort of way because they watched it when they were young, when they were growing.
So I was watching this film, and my niece comes into the room and starts watching with me, and she was really enjoying it. And she's like 5, and she's very impressionable. She hasn't seen all the Cinderella versions. Actually, she's seen the animated one, but she hasn't seen the brand one or Cinderella story, and she's really digging it.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, what you were just saying, that when she gets to my age, she's gonna think that this was the quality one.
This is going to be her Brandy Cinderella movie.
Yeah.
The same way that your sister felt it, the same way you felt it.
Yeah.
She might, if she rewatches or revisits it in any form.
But yeah, I thought the movie was forgettable overall. I recommend it if you don't want to think about anything, or
Yeah,
if you
if
have kids, watch it with them. I will
if you've been
never
watching
ever
a lot
watch.
of dark TV shows or movies,
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
put this on. This is very relaxing.
After you finish
Goofy.
watching Squid Games, I would recommend watching Cinderella.
I still haven't seen Squid Game.
That it's a great palate cleanser. But I would never watch this film again, ever, unless my nieces wanted to. You know who? I just want to end on this thought. We haven't said much about what did you think about Camila Cabello's performance and overall thoughts on her? Because she was the main character.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is this her first acting role?
I think it's her first big.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with a
Yeah,
lot
me
of her
neither.
acting then. And like I know like one or two songs. I think there's 2 Camila Cabello songs I really like.
Same.
And I'm not part of that pop world. I don't listen to that kind of music. Not really.
Don't you have a poster of her in your room?
No.
It's over there in the No, I was kidding.
You know what? Her singing, fantastic. Like, there's no doubt about it. She's got the voice.
Yeah.
Her acting performance, I thought was okay.
Yeah, I actually thought it was better.
It was better than what I was expecting, and I thought as she develops this tool, she could be a really good actress.
Yes.
And she could be, she could be in an Oscar award-winning movie. Like, I reckon she's got that in her, because she also has really good comedic timing. My thing, and I think if she does this, she needs to do a TV show, a sitcom. She needs to pair up with a really good showrunner. I'm pitching Mike Schur of Good Place and Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I reckon if they team up, they can make something really special. And also, one thing to note about me, guys, I like sitcoms and TV shows. So that's my wheelhouse. Whereas Kendall's period dramas.
Period dramas, period pieces, films, comic books.
Yeah.
The genre. I'm all about that stuff. And whereas Hikeshi's all about television and all that other good stuff.
But that's I think hopefully this sets her up with something else, and she keeps acting. I mean, if we look at J-Lo, she started with Selena, and then she essentially started on what's that show where she was a dancer? The Wayans brothers. It's slipping my mind.
Dances, Wayans brothers.
Let me look it up.
Just to go off of what you just said, it's interesting that we both don't have like. I didn't think she was as bad as her in terms of her performance. I thought her other acting was kind of. Oh, In Living Color.
She started on In Living Color, where she was like a fly girl, like a dancer, and then she got into movies, and then she was also like the queen of rom-coms in the 2000s.
That makes sense. Yeah, she was.
Like Maid in Manhattan.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, she's like in so many. They were so good.
Oh yeah, like my favorite rom-com of J-Lo has got to be Hustler. Yeah, Hustler. Hustle. Yep.
What was I gonna say? It's interesting that we both had the same opinion in terms of the fact that because we watch a lot of these films, where the lead actress is not
The strongest player.
yeah, not the strongest player, is not necessarily a traditional film like actor. And then you see them in like, it's interesting that usually our opinion is usually the same. We just like it. And coming into this, there was nothing about her that made us dislike her.
No.
I thought that you're right. Her singing was very on point. I thought it was incredible, like very powerful. Not as like nothing too standoutish as the Adina chick or whatever her name is, the evil stepmother. But I also thought that the acting was, she did pretty good, because we've never seen her act before, and her acting in this was like, where is she on the scale? You're right, her comedy chops with against the Prince Charming character was pretty good. But for me, it felt like theater. It felt like theater acting. I think she did a lot of like really well with the whole her treatment of eyes.
Yeah.
She's like looking up, and she's doing a lot of her comedy with her eyes, and
yeah,
it seemed like musical theater acting, which is not a bad because it's a musical theater film.
This is a musical film,
and like I could see her just like, I felt like there's a scene where she's supposed to cry because during the dress scene, and it seems like he had already cried in one take of the film, and she couldn't do it again because you have more than one take, and basically her eyes are welled up, but she's not crying. She's just kind of like emotionally sad. But yeah, I thought this is our first time being exposed to her performance. I thought she did pretty well for herself.
Yeah.
Given that this is not her wheelhouse at all. No. Acting is not music making, and being a pop star is where she comes from.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are our final thoughts on Cinderella 2021. Cinderella, made by Amazon, taking over the world. And
Lex Luthor, as you called him earlier.
He is Lex Luthor. I thought Donald Trump was Lex Luthor.
I think he's Maxwell Lord.
He is Maxwell Lord. But Donald Trump is still Lex Luthor, man. At least 80s Lex Luthor. He's 80s Lex Luthor when he had the orange hair. Oh no, it was 90s, I think, where Lex Luthor had. It was the 90s where he had the orange hair. He had the big gut, and he's supposed to look like a corporate
a big wig,
capitalist kind of pig kind of villain, and then whereas Jeff Bezos is kind of like the modern.
Yeah, he's almost. He's
like the Despicable Me of Lex Luthor's.
He's Groot.
Yeah. So I suppose this part of the podcast we'll just we'll start spitting out certain things we would like to talk about that's gone on in the past week, revolving around what we're so obsessed about, which is everything pop culture related.
Yeah.
And would you like to take it away?
We're getting an Agatha Harkness TV series on Disney Plus, which, you know what? I don't know if I want it. I don't know if I want her as a main character.
You know what? I was like,
Catherine Hahn is an amazing actress. She's in so many different TV shows and movies that I love.
Yep.
And like, I've seen her in interviews recently. She's fantastic. I don't think she's I don't know if she's a leading actress, and that's fine. Like, I don't think you have to be a leading actress to be great. You can still be a supporting player and be fantastic. And I think she really highlights that.
She's a very actress.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's seen Parks and Rec. I don't know if you've seen Parks and Rec.
What the hell are you talking about? I'm
the one who Parks and Rec. You didn't introduce me. You're not C4.
I totally introduced it to you.
Don't
you remember?
You didn't. No.
I was talking
actually, I think you might have been.
Yeah, we were talking about
you
The
may have
Office.
you may have influenced me to watch it. Are you happy with that?
Why would you just admit it? Why would you just admit that I so because we were watching, I was
Not
watching
my
The Office.
dad.
You're not my dad.
That's a chef reference for anyone who didn't get that.
And we were like, yeah, I think we were. I remember because we were at the
No,
Metro.
I remember what you said. You said to me,
Yeah.
After you watched an episode of Community, there was like a little like, and coming up, Parks and Rec. And I think that's how you got into it. And then I think I watched it like maybe a year later.
I was I was definitely turned onto it by because I was already going through The Office and it was coming down to its last season kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they had already moved on to Parks and Rec. And then I found out that same producer, Michael Schur, I believe.
Yeah.
And then from there I jumped, because we were bonding over Community, and I was already jumping onto Parks and Rec. And then I told I think I was season 1 not so great. And then I told you that season 2 was like they found their voice, they found out where they're going now. Jump on season 2 and you'll just enjoy the whole thing. But yeah,
and I did, and like Catherine Hahn's on Parks and Rec, she's maybe in 4 or 5 episodes. One of the most memorable characters of that show, maybe top 10 characters, as Jen Barkley. And like to me, she whenever I see her in a supporting role, she's fantastic. She was great in This Is Where I Leave You, with Jason Bateman and Tina Fey.
Yeah.
She was great in that. I just don't know if she can pull it off. And I don't know if they can pull off such an obscure villain as a main character and for a TV series. Like, it's great that she's successful. Like, it's great that she was well received as the role.
Yeah. I think I'm on the other end where I think that because I've seen she was a leading actress in another kind of like comedy kind of thing, like a mature 60s kind of comedy kind of thing. And she plays like a teacher or a mom or something. And I think she can be a leading actress and she can carry a TV show. However, last night I was all for this. I'm all for an Agatha Harkness. But then just now when you were describing it to me, I was like, oh wait, I'm not interested in seeing Agatha Harkness.
Yeah.
I'm just in Catherine Hahn play something. Yeah. And that's why I got my wires kind of mixed.
Like if I saw her in another Marvel show, if they did like some sort of magical, like a magic series or something, and she was part of it.
You know, she provided her voice in Into the Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah. She was Dr. Ock.
Yeah. But yeah, she I'm definitely keen to see her in something. I just wish it wasn't in the Agatha Harkness series kind of thing. I think they should just give her. It's so interesting because Marvel has done this a lot, where they give small bit roles to really talented people, and then they will squander that.
Yeah, and I think they've seen that mistake.
Yeah, they've seen this mistake because in recent
and that's why we're getting all these side characters in like these big shows. Like we're getting Randall Park, and we're getting I forgot the actress's name, but Darcy Lewis. We're getting her and stuff. We're getting getting all these different people, and now and it's been a decade since Darcy Lewis started as it wasn't Thor.
She was this happened again in Iron Man 3, where we see Ben Kingsley's character play as he's a fake or a fake Mandarin, and then according to we haven't here in New Zealand we haven't seen
it. We haven't seen Shang-Chi.
We haven't seen Shang-Chi, isn't it?
Shang-Chi. I just say Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, and they from what I've seen, because stupid advertisements have ruined it for me. But he's revealed that he's in the film, and this is them trying to make up for because it's Ben Kingsley. Is he a Sir?
Yes,
Is he
he is.
knighted?
Yeah.
He's a knighted, like he's Sir Ben Kingsley.
He also played Gandhi in the Gandhi movie.
Yeah, yes, he did.
And I think he's like a quarter Indian as well.
But he played such a small role, like, and he wasn't deserved of that in Iron Man 3, and then they're trying to make up for that in Iron Man in the new Shang-Chi film.
But but the marketing for that movie, if you recall, like all the trailers, he was a big guy. Obviously, the twist is what the twist was. But when the movie was coming out, we thought, yep, he's a big bad, and then we got what we got. Also, another good example there is Glenn Close in Guardians.
Is she coming back?
I'm not sure. And John C. Reilly. They could have positioned John C. Reilly's character as kind of the space Coulson.
Yeah.
If they did that,
because he's
an amazing actor as well.
He's a Nova, right? He's an officer of the Nova Corps.
So if they even do a Nova series or a Nova movie,
I think they should just bring them all back for Guardians 3.
Volume 3. Or even put them in that Christmas movie they're going to do.
Are they making a Christmas movie?
Yeah, they're doing a Guardians Christmas movie, like in the same vein as like the Star Wars Christmas movies, which is coming out next year. And it's a prequel to Volume 3.
Really?
Yeah. So I think they shot back to back.
That's so interesting, since and
the Christmas movie is going to be on Disney Plus as an exclusive.
It's interesting since the original Gamora died, narratively speaking, passed away, and the new Gamora that's in the film currently is
it's a present. Yeah. That we got the 2014 Gamora, as I think she's positioned in the movie. And I think this Guardians 3 is going to be a search for Gamora, like a search for Spock. I think it may be in that kind of.
But didn't they're all together at the end of Infinity War?
No, she at the end of Endgame, she wasn't on the ship. Thor was with them because she disappeared, and then I can't remember if Will said something, but we're gonna look for Gamora. Because Nebula's on the ship, Mantis.
We need to get back to Catherine Hahn.
So this is what we do.
This is how we talk.
We're very good at going off tangent and going back to what we were talking about.
Oh, we're like champions at it. Experts.
Yeah.
Read my manifesto.
It's not that kind of. It's not that kind of podcast.
No, it's not. Sorry, but it's just I could, in the hands of a really talented showrunner, I think Agatha Harkness could become big in the Marvel universe. Catherine Hahn is amazingly talented. She can sing. She can. She's a comedian. She can act. I've seen her in a bunch of other stuff with I've seen her perform in some dramatic comedic stuff, and she's done really well in them.
Wasn't she in the Spelling Bee movie with Jason Bateman?
Yeah, she was the reporter. She was also in that Paul Rudd movie with the one where he's like a homeless kind of person, I think, and then lives with his he goes to live with his sisters.
My Idiot Brother.
Yeah.
With Zooey Deschanel, she was in it.
And Steve Coogan.
Yes, he was one of the sisters' husband, right?
What's his name? No, not Paul Rudd. Who's that other guy? The guy who made Freaks and Geeks.
Paul Feig.
Paul Feig. No, Paul Feig.
Judd Apatow.
Judd Apatow's wife. Was Judd Apatow's wife? Oh no, I'm thinking of someone else. But anyway, back to Agatha Harkness.
I when I saw the news, I was like, I hope it's like 4 or 5 episodes. I don't want
Yeah,
I don't want an 8 episode, hour-long show. I think that just riding on her coattails as she's had a great run, but I don't honestly think we need to focus the story on just her.
I think one season would be good. One season, and you can just wrap up her storyline. However, a thought just came to me that strategically placing her into a series seems to be, exactly that. It's strategic to the point where if you look at it like the big picture, we've got an increase in magic users in the Marvel films lately. So we got the new Doctor Strange film coming out. We got Wanda. We got Doctor Strange is already in the new Doctor Strange is already in the new Batman film. So we got Wanda, who's going to be in the new Doctor Strange film. She already has her own series. We've got who's it that recently came out? Loki, the Loki series, and now we're getting Agatha Harkness. This could be something. It seems to be leading to something. This seems to be like placed strategically to lead up to something big that's going on. That's magic related.
Yeah.
In the Marvel universe. Is it the are they gonna mash different universes together and then we're gonna have the Fantastic Four?
No, we're never getting a Fantastic Four movie nor X-Men.
Oh, shut up. I think that's what Eternals is about, right? Are they gonna usher in the X-Men?
I thought it's gonna be a while till we get any X-Men. I think we're gonna get a Fantastic Four movie before we get an X-Men movie.
Yeah.
And I just want them to integrate them seamlessly. So take as much time as you need.
Yes.
I'm in real no rush for X-Men, and I love the X-Men thing. I got into superheroes and stuff because of them. But I'm fine if you want to take your time and introduce them properly, because the lore of X-Men is so extensive and
it is. What's interesting is, if they don't do the whole, because like you said, the X-Men are extensive, specifically referring to their history, where they've been around for so long. We've only ever seen historical connections in terms of period pieces with the X-Men, because Magneto was known to be a Holocaust survivor.
Yeah.
Professor Xavier is definitely from that era.
Yeah.
Oxford being a professor. It's
and
interesting.
Then with Wolverine, he was in the war with Captain America.
How interesting
I would be interested to see something like that.
The Eternals usher in the mutants. How interesting would it be to create an X-Men universe in the Marvel universe without history, without that baggage? That would make. Can you envision an X-Men where they're
the only heroes in the world?
What was that? Sorry.
Are you saying like they're the only kind of heroes in the world? There's no Captain America or Iron Man or?
More like, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like, how do I logistically, seamlessly put the X-Men into the universe without them obviously being there, because they would stand out. Like,
yeah,
I think Nick Fury would have known, or Nick Fury, or Peggy Carter would have known that there was a brain. I think they would have, and Peggy Carter would have known there was an Xavier or a Holocaust.
And also, where were they during these major events throughout the Marvel universe? Where were they?
Were they all hidden?
Yeah.
I'm just like, so either they can go down that route where they were there the entire time, like they were there the entire time, like the Eternals, or it's set here and now, and Magneto and Xavier got their powers in the 80s.
Yeah.
That would make them roughly around 30 right now, right? In their late 30s.
In the 80s, yeah. No, they'll be a bit older, maybe like 50s, 60s.
Yeah. So if we just like speed up the process a bit, do they get their powers now or back then? Because it wouldn't make sense. And if they did their powers now because of what's going on in the Marvel universe, that means, you know, there's no Holocaust surviving. There's no you know, war history kind of unless you like put time travel in there, in which case it makes everything makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be so tricky. How are you gonna put it like an X-Men universe? They're already Marvel.
And I think Kevin Feige, who's a master as it is, like I have a lot of faith in him, and I can't say that about a lot of other producers or executives in Hollywood. But the way he's running Marvel, the Marvel shit, he's got it down. I think whatever he'll do, he'll do it and make sure it makes sense.
It's going to be another universe, right? That seems to be the only. My mind is just telling me that it's going to be another universe.
Especially right now with the way that the MCU is, with the What If series and the Loki series, it's this multiverse thing, right? In which they kind of did the Iron Man 3 on us on Spider-Man Far From Home, where they said there is a multiverse, but really.
Yeah, that was weird. They kind of chickened out, didn't
they? Yeah. And also, I don't know if they thought that audiences were ready for it. Ready, like the average audience ready for a multiverse.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of their audiences are a lot more mature than these executives think.
Oh yeah. It's just going to be so interesting because I can see them putting in the Fantastic Four now because they make relevant sense. You know, we're going into space now. All you got to do is just add the family and stuff in now. But the X-Men are something different. They're like
they've got such a rich history.
Yeah, rich history.
And Apocalypse was the first. And Apocalypse was the first mutant. How are you going to explain that?
Has to be, I think you might be right where it has to be multiverse related, and then they just kind of enfold it into one universe.
Yeah, because I feel like they can't do the same trope that they used for the Eternals. Like, we've been here all along, we just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's weird, right? That's weird.
I feel like you can do it once, you can't do it again.
Yeah.
And if you're already going to do it for the Eternals, then you shouldn't do it for the X-Men. Like, why wouldn't you try and stop Thanos? We told the world we would intervene, but now...
Because they even say in the film, it's our job to stop deviants.
Yeah.
And I'm like... No, actually, Thanos is an Eternal like them, but he was born deviant. Like, that's what deviants look like. But, you know, he's going to destroy the planet that they were supposed to protect. And, like, is that their loophole that they're going to put in the movie? We can't fight Thanos because he's an Eternal and we don't fight Eternals and we can only fight deviants.
Yep, probably.
I thought they were supposed to save the humans from the deviants. Who's going to save the humans from the Eternals? Just, you know.
Yeah.
Just fight Thanos.
I mean, that's the thing that the MCU and Kevin Feige, Marvel, they've just got to take care in what they're doing from now on in terms of the story, because this is a 22, 23 movies franchise, and I don't think we've got it. I think this is the biggest franchise, like in terms of how many movies they've got in a franchise. Maybe James Bond, 25 movies.
Because doesn't franchise refer to one character of one like IP? It has to be one IP for the same different films.
I'm considering the MCU is just a franchise.
Oh, as a whole, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But yeah. So it's gonna be so tricky logistically speaking.
And if you guys have any thoughts or let us know in comments. We'll have some
Yeah.
sort of comments in somewhere.
I would love to
Or
hear you
DM
guys like
us.
if there's anything you want us to like review and like just go give our opinion on like something you've seen and you'd like to hear our thoughts on it. Put it in our actually how are they gonna message us? We have an Instagram page. We have an Instagram page up. You can comment at us on there and we'll try and get back to you. We'll also update you on latest latest films we're going to be reviewing, certain topics. We're going to be updating everyone on that as well. Am I missing anything?
No, I think you pretty much covered it.
Any other topics you'd like to discuss, or is that it?
I think we went through it quite thoroughly.
Yeah. How long did we go for?
I don't know. We're still recording. But since we're kind of ending it now, I think this is a good time to end it. I've chosen a movie for us to watch to discuss next week.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you if there's anything you because I suggested Cinderella.
Yeah.
Oh, is there anything that you would like me to watch so we can prepare for next week?
Yeah, I think we should watch Candyman, the new one.
Yes.
I recently watched the original not so long ago for the first time.
Yep. Recently I watched the first one. I remember watching it like years ago, but it was in bits and pieces, and I wasn't really into horror at the time. I rewatched it again, loved it. I think I might try and watch the rest.
Okay. I don't think I'll have time to do that, but I would definitely watch Candyman.
Yeah. We'll watch Candyman, the one that was supposed to release last year, right?
Yes. Last year? Possibly.
And by the way, I would also like to throw out there that we should should we also do like a Halloween theme with all these films coming up? I mean, Cinderella was kind of scary, and the fact that we had to watch it.
It's a get out of musicals.
Yeah, but yeah, we should.
I wanted to get out of there and start watching it.
But yeah, we should definitely like have a Halloween theme, and we'll watch like a bunch of horror movies leading up to October 31st. And then I think we should have a Halloween special where we have to dress up for
my suggestion for the Halloween movie is Justin Bieber's Never Say Never.
Gosh. Oh my, you've seen that, right? You told me to watch it. You've seen that already.
Yeah, I have.
Oh my god, I haven't seen that specifically because you told me to watch it.
I'm not a huge Justin Bieber fan, and I don't really like. I'm not. Okay, I need to hide these posters again. And at the time, I was working at a video shop, and I would often just put something on.
You know what?
And I put that on, and I didn't like it. It was scary.
You know what? I'll this is your suggestion. Why not? You know what? To me, when you said that to me, like based on our tastes alone, that to me that is actually like it's quite a it's quite a task or an ordeal for me. Like in terms of like this sounds like just a horrifying thing for me to do. So yeah, that makes sense in the whole context.
And then I think like maybe to follow up, maybe the One Direction movie.
Okay, let's take that for next year. Okay, let's just take it easy.
Is there a Dua Lipa one?
Oh my gosh, I think there's a Taylor Swift one that's on Netflix.
Oh yeah, she's also got one on Disney Plus as well.
Is she? Is that the same one?
No, it's different.
Oh. But yeah, okay, so I'm really excited for the new Candyman. Definitely gonna watch that. I'm only rewatching the older Candyman because just help fill out my filmography, my library of seen films. But yeah, that's us for the very
The
first
week.
episode of the pilot. Sorry if the sound or the lagging or anything. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. This is just our. It's just the show is just really basic. It's just gonna be us two just riffing off of stuff. I hope you guys enjoy your time.
I hope you
And,
had a few laughs and enjoyed yourselves. And
don't be shy to like message us or like if you have any suggestions or anything like that.
as long as you're not mean, don't be mean.
Yeah, don't do that. Or else I'll have to like filter them out or whatever. You can the shows. So you can find us on Instagram. On Have you seen anything good lately? Or seen anything good lately? Sorry. You can follow Hitesh on his social media. You can find that on the Instagram page. You can find me on there as well. And is there anything else you would like to say before we tune out?
Just thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching or listening, or however you're receiving this. Have a good
Catch
week.
you on the flip side.
Later. Bye, everyone.